Welcome back to the Let's Talk About It podcast. Before we get started, make sure you take a second to hit that subscribe button. I'm gonna give you 3 seconds. Okay, that's enough time. That helps build the numbers, the analytics, the algorithms, and all that good stuff. Help build a channel so I can bring y'all more and more good content. All right, today got another special one, and I know that I say that every time. But today, and I'm going to let her introduce herself, but I'm going to do a pre-introduction. Someone that has been in my life, all of my life. Probably changed my pamper. But it's been there since the passing of our mother. She's been there as a mother, always making sure we are good and not micromanaging, but steadily hovering around just to make sure, just in case. Someone who's inspired me, who motivates me, who I look to as a source of inspiration. My sister, I'm going to let her introduce herself. Go ahead and tell them who you are, man.
Hi, I'm Tasha, Crawley Boone, the owner of Sweet and Elegant Delights, formerly known as Miss T's Sweet Treats. We rebranded in January, and we'll get more into that in just a little bit. But I am a mother of total 5 grandbabies.
I know that many.
Yeah. The oldest has 2. The middle son has 2. The daughter has 1.
2, okay.
And the baby has none.
Man, okay.
Yeah. So, that's me in a nutshell.
All right. All right, well, let's talk about it. We're going to get right into the meat of it. So, you say you're the owner of
Sweet and Elegant Delights.
Sweet and Elegant Delights. Let's start at the beginning. What inspired you to start baking? Because growing up, that wasn't really something we wouldn't look at you and say, oh, she gonna bake. You cooked, but it wasn't like your specialty or anything like that.
Right. Well, the initial was money.
Okay.
Just to give a small piece of background, I'm a registered nurse.
Mm-hmm.
And my actual job is an acute hemodialysis nurse.
That sounds special.
Yeah, it is. That means that I do dialysis patients. I give them their treatments when they're in the hospital. So I only go to work when there are patients in the hospital.
Okay.
And it happens to be their treatment day or whatever.
Okay.
So there was a period of time, and there's still times where I don't work.
Right.
So back in the beginning when I started the business, it was because of that. I needed to make up the difference.
Okay.
And I said, I told my husband one day, I said, let me try to, sell a slice of cake or 2. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I started off making bundt cakes and just regular little small cakes.
Right.
And it just blossomed from there.
Okay. So at what point you're doing it and you say, okay, I like what I'm doing. I'm getting a couple of dollars from it. At what point do you say, okay, I have something here. Let me make this official, make it a business where
Because more people started asking.
Okay.
But
but even with that, some people still won't set the structure up and say, let me get a LLC or whatever.
Well, to officially become a business, what I decided to do was my homework. Some Google researches to say, okay, if I'm going to just do this more than just a bake sale type of thing, mm-hmm. I needed to know what could I do within my city.
Right.
So I looked up Emporious codes to see what I could do from home, what I needed as far as a business license or whatever. Then I took it a step further to find out what I could do in the state of Virginia. Mm. And just so happened, Virginia has two laws. But to back up a second, Emporious laws and Virginia's cottage food law kind of feeds off it. It says pretty much the same thing.
This is all terminology I've never heard of. Food cottage. What's that?
Virginia. It's called Virginia cottage. The Virginia food cottage law. Most states have them. I think maybe 1 or 2 states don't have a cottage law, which it basically gives you the ability to bake from home. Okay. Bake.
So so just bake.
Just bake.
Okay, good. Keep going.
some states require that you have a inspection to get your cottage law certificate. Some don't. But again, like I said, Virginia has 2 laws. One, you don't have to have a certificate.
Okay. So what does that cover? The same thing?
Yeah, the one you don't have to have a certificate is just the basic cottage law. You can sell at farmers markets and from home, direct sales.
What is the other?
The cottage law is actually where you go through the full inspection, where someone from the Department of Agriculture comes in your home to inspect your refrigerator, your stove, your make sure you have water supply. They inspect the outside of your home.
Just like a real business. Like
just like if I was a storefront. Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. Make sure I have gloves, hair nets. I got all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And they give you your certification just like you would if you were a storefront.
Okay.
I lost my train of thought.
No, you're talking about the two laws.
Right. Okay.
And what made you said you were doing your homework. What made you go into actually making it a
well, it took me forever to decide to go through the full inspection because, again, the full inspection, it allows you to do so much more.
Okay.
It allows you to do events legally. It allows you to sell cold storage items
because some
legally.
Events do require you to have that paperwork saying that I'm certified
exactly.
Because if not, they're liable, and people want to cover their liabilities, and you're liable.
Exactly.
You know, so
actually, I was in a group on Facebook one time, a wedding cake group out of Richmond, and they wanted to create a list of vendors, cake vendors for their brides or whatever. Well, I couldn't get on that list because I didn't have an inspection. I had my license to operate. I had my food safe.
Okay.
But I didn't have the actual Department of Agriculture's inspection.
Okay. Now, does that cost money to do?
Yes.
Okay, and that's an important note right there.
But they don't bill you until afterwards.
Okay.
So I haven't received a bill yet, but they will bill you.
This is the one you just had.
Yes.
We gonna get to that because we're gonna get more into that. But what I was saying was, okay, more so talking to the people as you're going along in your business. Like you said, you came into a roadblock because you realized I don't have this.
Right.
And that's important, but you had to pay that money. You had to invest back into the business to be able to. So next time you come around, I can get on that list.
Right.
You know
Exactly.
So it goes above just being good at what you do.
Exactly.
You have to invest back into your business.
Yeah. And then, well, even before that, again, back to research, because research is so important when it comes to business. It's not just about the front picture.
Right.
You got to know the back of the house.
Yep.
You know, if you don't know your back of the house, you can't run your front of the house.
The foundation.
The foundation.
Okay.
You don't have to have an LLC, which is the limited liability corporation, but it's a good thing to have because it helps to protect your personal assets from your business assets. Say, for instance, if someone wants to sue you or if the government wants to come after you, they'll come after your business versus your personal.
Right.
The same thing with having business insurance, whether it's food business insurance or some other type of
cleaning service. You had to have a $1 million policy.
Exactly, and that cost.
Yeah.
For instance, if someone wants to sue you because they got food poisoning,
you'll be covered.
It'll cover you.
It'll cover your personal assets.
Yeah,
but
you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, we're good, and it's good information because, you know.
So it's a list of things you basically need to do.
Okay.
On the back end, to protect yourself, because it's all about protecting yourself, especially when it comes to food service. Yeah. And baking from home is considered food service. It's considered retail, because you're not selling wholesale, of course. So you have to have that back end of the house taken care of. Because you don't want anything coming back on you, or at least not on your personal assets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay, that's good. Let me see what else. Okay, and I think you might have touched on some of that. Let's go deeper into the inspection. Exactly what do they inspect when they come in? I know you said it overall, but.
Well, when it comes to inspection, it's more than just having a label with your business name on it. Mm. The label is your ingredient label, just like you would go and buy a box of cereal and you see the ingredient label.
So it's important to put the ingredients.
You have to have the ingredients, and they have to be broken down in a certain way.
Okay.
They have to be listed in a certain way.
So you can't just put them up there. You can't just put water, milk. It has to be. It's a structure
to it. Okay. And they don't play. Okay. It took me 3 months and 13 days to get it right.
Just to know how to put the words.
Yes.
Wow.
And they don't help you.
This is important information, y'all. This is very important because no matter what you're selling, you want to know the ins and outs of, can I do this here? And how much of this can I do here?
Right.
Because you don't want to get caught up. Because at the end of the day, a lot of times, once you get to a certain level, nobody has to tell on you. Your business will tell on you because you're doing a lot of business, and it's going to make red flags come up, and somebody's going to come and say, hey, let me see if you're supposed to be doing this right. So why not go ahead of time and say, let me set it up right so they don't have to come bother me. Keep on.
Yeah. So they inspect. He comes in a white coat, just like you see on TV.
Okay.
White coat, the long white coat or whatever, gives you his business card. This was my particular inspector. Look through cabinets, your stove, your vents. Okay. Again, make sure your water run. Where's your nearest bathroom to wash your hands? Make sure that you got hot water. Your refrigerator temperatures. Just different little things like that. Okay. Not quite as detailed as if I was a storefront, so it's not like checking corners for dirt. But of course, you would have that stuff.
Right.
Clean or what? Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, just personal hygiene.
Right.
What chemicals are you using to clean with? You have to show that. It's so much more than just saying you have a certificate. It's very detailed.
And these things can determine what level of customer you can get to, because when you get to a certain level, some care, but some might not, but they might want to know all of these things. Do you have this? Because they want to trust that whatever I'm about to put in my mouth, I'm covered because I know the right people have checked out this business. Right. Okay, so you're moving along. You start out, because anything that start out, it doesn't look as good as what it does now.
Oh God, no.
So, and I might throw a picture up in here somewhere just to show the growth of side by side of some of the first cakes and now. It's night and day, literally. Like, so you weren't that good when you started.
Well, thank you. But you couldn't tell me I wasn't, though.
And that's what I was about to say.
You couldn't tell me I wasn't. I just knew I was doing it.
And and even back then, we didn't know that wasn't. Seeing it there, it's like, I was eating some bullshit. So what she was making. But back then, because you had never done it, it's like, oh, snap. A football-ish cake. But even looking out, right? You're making yours, but I'm sure you're seeing others that are doing it better than you. Mm-hmm. That discourages some people.
Yeah.
But like you say, you couldn't tell you that you weren't doing it.
Right.
What kept you going? And then what got you to the point where you said you wanted to go back to school and get a degree?
For one thing, giving up ain't in us. That just ain't in us. And we're going to keep doing it until we get it right.
Absolutely.
I've taken classes. I've been to conferences. I've taken,
Slow it down. And slow it down. We can get all the conferences.
Okay.
You good.
Okay. My bad. But yeah, I just wanted to be better. Okay. I knew I could be better because I was seeing better.
Okay.
And I'm like, how can I get there?
And that didn't intimidate you. That made you, it inspired you to want to get to that level. Okay.
Right.
What made you decide to go back to school? Because you already had a nursing, your RN, registered nurse. Mm-hmm. That's one of the higher levels of nursing you can get to. Right. Of course, you have other levels, but that's one of the levels a lot aspire to get to. You're there.
Right.
Some are fine with that. What made you say, plus you have your business going, what made you say, I need to get another degree too? I need some more. What made you do that?
My daughter.
Okay, break it down.
My daughter does not go.
What's up, Ash?
My daughter does not realize how much she inspires me, and I'm gonna cry.
So right there. I was prepared.
There's so much she has done that or accomplished, not using me as an example.
Okay. What you mean by that?
She graduated high school. I graduated high school. Mm-hmm. She went to college, a 4-year college, and got a degree. Mm-hmm. She didn't have her first child until she was 26.
And you were carrying her when you graduated.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm glad she did not fall. Even though I did not give up when I had her, it was some long nights, some long days, much support needed.
That girl could cry too. Crazy, I ain't never heard a child could cry like that.
Well, you weren't around Reggie.
No, good. Crazy that girl could cry.
But it was like she didn't use me as an example as far as becoming a mother early.
Okay.
Just like with our mom. Mama was an LPN. Mm-hmm. I wanted to be more.
Okay. Gotcha.
She went to college. Even though I have I'm a registered nurse, I got my vocational,
a different route.
But I had to take a different route.
Okay.
She didn't have her first child till she was 26.
Yeah.
She wanted more because I had her at 18. And I'm looking at it, not that I'm a bad example, but I'm glad that she did more. She lived her life before she became a parent.
Right.
I tried to live a life as a parent.
Good gracious.
And it didn't work.
That's deep.
It didn't work. Okay. Like I said, there was some long nights, some failures. Flunked out of RN school the first time because I had her. I wouldn't give her up, to let my parents raise her because she was my responsibility, So that's why I had to default back. I didn't give up because I became an LPN, but then I still realized that I needed to keep going. So that's when I became an RN.
Okay.
She didn't have to go through all of that. So she's part of what inspired me to go back to school because I'm like, I was supposed to have this. So now it's my time to get it.
Wow.
And that's what made me go back.
That's powerful. You could have given up and stopped, right?
Exactly.
You could have stopped at LPN and still made a decent living.
Right.
That's powerful. Okay. You mentioned, so what type of degree do you have, first of all?
A bachelor's in business and technical management with a minor in entrepreneurship.
Okay.
And that's what drew me in, the entrepreneurship.
And briefly, how does that benefit you along with your business now?
Again, it gives me the back end.
Okay. Because
you had to have accounting and statistics, record keeping, all that kind of different stuff, which is a foundation. Now, you don't have to go to school.
Right.
You can struggle or not. I guess that's not the right word because
you can struggle. I mean, go to school and struggle. I ain't go to school, so I guess that's where I've been struggling.
No, that's not the right word. I'm so sorry.
That's good.
You had to take that out.
No, that's staying in there. That is staying in. That's the way you said it.
Because I was searching for a word to put right there.
Okay.
I mean, but you need that foundation,
It just takes longer if you don't go to with school. It gives it you paying for it, but it gives it to you. This is what you need to learn.
Right.
But without it, you got to YouTube.
And now when because I'm steady taking classes. I'm steady doing this. I don't stop just because I'm at this level.
Along with that, you've gone to aside from last year because of COVID. Mm-hmm. You've been going to conferences down in Atlanta. What made you decide to, hey, let me pay all this money because it's not cheap.
No.
You go spend a few days down here, that means I got to pay for hotel room and pay for the event, the conference. What inspired you to say, let me start doing that?
Because I wanted to be a part of something bigger. Now, I'm an introvert,
right.
but I have extrovert tendencies when I'm around something that I'm passionate about. Okay. When I'm talking about something that I'm passionate about. In my element. Okay. So that is my element. Because I'm around like-minded people. It's not, oh, she doing this, she doing that, or he doing this, he doing that. I've met some world-renowned people, you know. I've met mentors that I'm still in contact with, you know, that I can reach out to, say, hey, can you help me with this, or what do you think about this? And they give me their feedback, you know, people that want to help you, you know, so.
And that matters. I believe it was either, I heard, it's a saying, it's not like a new saying. You either heard mama say it, I know I heard daddy preach it before. But your attitude determines your altitude. You, along this journey, I've learned you're going to run into, with the right attitude, you're going to run into the right people that you need to run into. Like you said, you have mentors that you're in contact with that have actually been on TV and things of that nature. But it's because you didn't have an attitude of, look at them, they think they're doing something. It's like, no. How did you do that?
Right.
You know, and also offer help to them if you can. Like, be a resource to the other people if you can. That's very important.
I mean, it's actually some local people. Well, I won't call them local because they're not like directly in our area, but the Richmond, Petersburg, Dinwiddie area. Those are my cake sisters. You know, I've met them in person. We text, we talk. You know, we
you refer
hype each other. Yeah, we refer each other. We hype each other up. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not in competition. You know.
And that's an important thing too.
And I don't mind if I have a question on how to do something, I can reach out. Or if they have a question, well, what did you do for this? They reach out, and I don't mind. You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's important to have friends in business and outside that are not intimidated by your gift.
Right.
And if you have them type of people around you, they're probably not your friends. So it's important, okay, if I'm in business, I want other business-minded people around me. That way, they won't be looking at me like, oh, he think he all that. It's no, they have something they're building, I'm building something, and hopefully we can be a resource to each other to help build each other up and not look at each other as competition.
Right.
Yeah. All right. With everything you have going on, how important is it to have support system?
It's very important.
Okay.
I mean, it's my kids are forever. I mean, even though we're not in the same area yet, just a few months, they're always encouraging me. My husband is amazing. He is a support system that's not interactive. I won't say not interactive. He supports me because he'll share my post, or he'll run an idea. If he sees me working on something, he'll shoot an idea my way. Now, he's not hands-on. I guess that's what I mean, not interactive. He's not hands-on. Or if an appliance goes out, he'll make sure that. Yeah.
You know. Bring the new one in. So that's a fact.
You know, so, and he knows that this is
who you are.
Yeah, who I am. And this is where I'm happy, because it's my peace. You know, I could be upset, or if I have worked in, you know, the nursing all day or whatever, come home, shower, jump right into, because it calms me down. It washes away all the frustration of the day. Or I could be just irritable about something, nothing in particular, but once I get into my element, it washes it away, and he can see that change in me. You know, so that's a way of being supportive as well, because he knows that, you know, he'll send me referrals. You know, he'll send people my way. Well, your husband, you know, I work with your husband, or your husband such and such. I've had several of his co-workers come to me. You know, because of him, he carries my business cards around his wallet.
Okay.
You know, they'll ask him something. I don't know. Call her. You know, or go to her website. You know.
So what you're saying is bacon pretty much saved your marriage. I'm just playing.
No, honey, no.
That's all I got from that.
No.
That was a joke. But it's good to. Now, I made a joke out of a real thought. It's good that you're able to find your peaceful place, and he respects that, and he realizes he gets the best version of you,
right?
By allowing you the room to do that. I can get the best wife by letting her do what she enjoys.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I was just joking about
yeah.
Okay, so we've done all this talking. It's good information you've given, but we actually haven't said what you actually do. No, we said you bake, but what types of cakes? What types of events? What types of things do you do?
Okay, well, I started off in just regular, bundt cakes, cupcakes, that type of thing. But I have since branched off into celebration cakes and wedding cakes. Weddings are my thing.
Okay.
Weddings are my thing, and it's not because of the larger amount of finance that it brings in, but it's just more elegant to me. It's more upscale, and that's what I want, more upscale events.
You want your brand to be connected to.
Right.
So when they speak of who does good wedding cakes.
Right.
Your name is one that pops up.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Okay. So that's my thing with that. I also branched off into, I guess you would call it a sister company or a secondary company, because I create edible images and cake toppers and cupcake toppers and treat toppers or whatever, for not only for myself, but for other bakers.
So for others that might have baked the actual cake, but they don't have the designs,
right?
So the edible designs to go on it, they can purchase that from you and just put that on their already made cake.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm. And I have quite a few dedicated customers who come directly to me, and I like creating the toppers because they pretty much give me the elements that they want in it and let me do the creations. And that's part of being a creator. You know.
What's some of the areas you've shipped your edibles to?
I've shipped to I ship all
edible
up in
images, because I almost about to think I'm talking about reefer.
Oh no, that's not part of my brand at all. Edible images, edible prints. I've shipped all over the country. I've shipped all the way to the Virgin Islands as well. I have a client down there. I've shipped to her several times. Okay. Most of my clients are up and down the East Coast. Okay. But I do have some in Illinois, Louisiana, California, Michigan, Indiana. I mean, I can name.
And they interact through social media, but you have a website, right?
I have a website.
And that's important. Go ahead.
Actually, the prints portion is not on my website. Okay. Because it's part of the company, but it's separate. Okay. If that makes sense. Yeah. So my link tree is linktree.sweeterelegantdelights.com. I mean,
I have something like that. Yeah. Give it to me. I'm gonna have all your info in the description.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a link on my link tree. Okay. And I also teach classes, or I teach right now. I'm currently only teaching the how to use the Cameo Silhouette, which is a cutting machine to create the images. Okay. But my main thing is being a cake artist, and I like to call myself a cake. I'm a baker, but I like to be considered as a.
For the pregnant women.
Oh, the pregnant women? Yeah. I could give a whole backstory of why those started, but again, a small snippet inspired by Ashley.
The lactation treats.
And that's what I should call them, inspired by Ashley. But anyway, they are treats, basically cookies and brownies that assist with milk production. Okay. For the breastfeeding moms, sometimes moms have issues with producing enough milk or getting their supply up, so when they go back to work, they can continually breastfeed their children or whatever. And I've had several clients that, still get those from me as well. I started that back in November.
Last year, 2020.
Okay. And they're delicious. If I do say so myself, you can't taste the extra ingredients. My husband won't try them, but
I already be struggling in the gym to make sure I get my little piece of man boob off. I ain't trying to have nothing leaking out my titty.
But they're actually delicious. Knock on wood, me patting my own self for that. They're fairly pretty good.
Okay. So. It was one other thing I was gonna say. I was gonna ask. Oh no, I was gonna make the point that and this is more so to the people. A lot of time we talk about multiple streams of income. You pretty much you started with baking, but you kind of created 3 other streams just connected with baking, from the virtual classes to the edible prints to the lactation treats. 3 other ones without even having to go outside of the actual baking field.
Right.
So you're maximizing that before you even had to move to something else. And I think sometimes people can get so all over the place. Let me do a little bit of this. Let me do a little bit of that. No, maximize what you have. Okay, for instance, with what I do, and this is just a shameless plug, the Smell of Victory started with body oils, but then body butters, that's a stream. Lotions, that's a stream. Each product within your business can be a stream if you look at it that way.
Right.
You can create multiple things off of one thing before you ever have to go outside of that thing.
Falls up under the umbrella.
It falls up under that.
And that's how a lot of big box companies are.
Yeah.
You don't realize a lot of different products come from this main company unless you read the label. It says, Nabisco or whatever, but it's some generic brand, but it comes under that umbrella.
Yeah, some of them will be side by side on the shelf.
Yeah.
You think it's competition? No, it's the same company.
It's the same thing.
It's all in how you set it up. That's the structure to it is important. How you look at your own business is important too. But that comes with doing research. You wouldn't have known about the print side or this is an option or lactation trees if you hadn't have done the research to even know, there's more than just baking cakes.
Yeah.
This has been really good. Really good. We're gonna wrap it up. How can the people contact you? How can they reach you to order? Anything like that?
Website is, I gave the link tree, but the actual website is www.sweetandelegantdelights.com, and it's spelled out. Social media, Instagram is sweet_elegant delights. Facebook is sweet_elegant delights. Yeah. Business number is 434-262-0138. On at 8:30, off at 9 o'clock. Okay. So if you call me anytime before or after that, it will go to voicemail. Trying to think. Is that all my social media? I'm on TikTok, but I don't really use TikTok.
Yeah. I think so, but if not, like I said, I'm going to make sure I have everything going to be in the description. So if y'all have any questions or want to reach out and order something, everything's going to be right there. Just click and go right to it. This has been excellent. I appreciate you coming through, sis. We got it done. Excellent information. It's good information for whatever business you're in, not just baking.
Research is
the main thing. Know what you're getting into, lay your foundation, and build from there. Thank y'all for tuning in. Before we go, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Oh, okay, you hit it. Thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to see you next time. Peace.
Peace.